Okay, I believe you are ready to start. I would like to make some small introduction about our company. The FluentPro software develops products for Microsoft Project Server platform. We developed the products for Project Server 2010 and Microsoft Project Server 2013. Our portfolio has about 15 products in total, and EPM Pulse is just one of those products. We are based in the United States and in Canada. We also have offices in Europe. This webinar is presented together with our partner, adaQuest. And during this webinar, we'll cover several areas. So first of all, we'll cover what are the business and technical challenges that companies face when implementing the project server and interested in reporting and data visualization of EPM data. We will cover what is the EPM Pulse and why it solves the challenges. We'll describe what are the portfolio and project dashboards and how they can be built with help of the EPM Pulse. We'll do a quick demo of EPM Pulse functionality. We'll show how to build several dashboards in very short time. And on the second part of the webinar, we'll talk about what adaQuest can bring to the table with capabilities of customizing and implementing the EPM Pulse in organization, along with some demo. And at the end, we will have some giveaways for attendees of the webinar, and as well, please feel free to ask questions using the question feature in the on the webinar, and we'll have a time at the end to answer all your questions. There are several business challenges that exist in companies. First of all, information is entered using the EPM system, but it's very hard to access this information. It's stored in some database or some storage. It's not. It's stored in the technical format, which is optimal for the system, but it's not user-friendly. Second problem is that executives don't get the real-time information in most cases. There is a delay between getting the information to the EPM system and delivering that information to executives and to the PMO office, so they can get all the details, what is going on in the organization, what is the status of the projects in general, are we late or are we on the time. As well, the different stakeholders might want to see same information, same dashboard from the different angles and the different formats. It's also a challenge since most cases, the dashboards are developed in one style and one way, and it's very hard to create additional views that will require IT involvement of developers. Project managers and PMO office cannot access information usually again on the real time to make a decision, because the project managers need to see not only the project progress, and especially for the PMO, but there are multiple aspects of the managing projects and running the project to make sure that you have all the information from different angles, and so you can make timely actions, corrective or preventive, for your projects. And one more challenge is it's a cost. Reports and dashboard at the moment they're built by developers or IT, and that means it's limited. It's in most cases it's limited resource, and there is a cost associated, pretty much high cost associated with such efforts. There are also technical challenges. We also mentioned that the information stored in EPM system in technically optimized way, so the EPM system can work, can have good performance, but that means that information is, let's call it, encrypted in some way, and it's really hard to get it. And to develop the dashboard and reports, developers and IT need to be involved in this process, and they need to learn how to get the data and how to transform the data so it can be presented to the end user in the format that that is understandable by executives and project managers. Design variations. There are multiple iterations on designing the dashboard that should be taken, and as well, if company has no graphical designer involved in the process of creating dashboard and designers, sometimes they're missing the aesthetic touch to the dashboard. They don't look very contemporary. They might be pretty much text information, but still they will display the information. As well, another problem is, in most cases, the developer generic the static, and by static here we mean that they developed once and they exist, and it's really hard to change those dashboards. It takes again, you need to go to the IT to change dashboard, and sometimes they display just limited set of the information, and business requirements are changing from the front end with the time. FluentPro developed the EPM Pulse. EPM Pulse, we identified like four major added values that EPM Pulse brings to the organization. First of all, it's the speed of developing the data visualization for EPM system. Any user can build dashboards, portfolio or project dashboards, and it takes minutes. And we are using so-called pre-built widgets that users can place using the visual designer, and that takes minutes instead of days and weeks. It really cuts the time to create dashboards significantly. Second option that we make strong focus is self-service. By self-service, we mean that project managers need to have all the tools so they can access the data, so they can see the results and make the decision, and they do not need to depend on other team members or external contractors or on their IT department to be able to dive to the data to build their own dashboard, to analyze the data, and based on the data that is displayed to make some decision. Self-service means that project managers get the tools and they can modify reports, they can get the data they really need and the way they want it. It's very important to share the information that was created. So we have the information, and the EPM Pulse sharing this information by embedding the dashboards into the PDPs, project detail page, project sites, or SharePoint site. For example, a company might have the PMO portal or executive portal, and dashboard can be built into those portal, and they will be displayed every time, and they will display real-time information on those sites. And one of the nice features that we have in the product as well is called the full screen mode. Full screen mode allows to see on the screen just the dashboard. You can use this mode during your presentation or meetings, or you can display some EPM dashboards on full screen on the big screen that is in your hall or in the executive meeting room, that will display all the metrics from your project. You will see the data, it will be displayed in a nice and clean way. I mentioned about the self-service approach that we focus on, but also there are two types of organization. The organization can be very PMO centric when there is a PMO and the PMO is defining what are the reporting standards for entire organization. And there as well, there might be some companies that do not have PMO as their maturity levels, they are not ready for PMO. In most cases, the PMO can create set of the standard or default portfolio and project dashboard that will be like require that everyone organization use those dashboards to present and report on the information. It also saves the time because the PMO has usually very high expertise and understands the data and understands the business requirements for dashboards. And those reports that will be built and dashboards that will be built by PMO, they will be available for everyone in the organization to see the details of the project. But at the same time, the EPM Pulse can bring it to the end users and to the project managers. You can give rights to the project manager so they can create their own dashboards. They will still use the dashboards created by PMO, but they also have a tool that they can use to create different look on the data. For example, there's a dashboard created by PMO, but it's missing, for example, financial information. The project manager would like to see that along with the progress tracking. That's where the EPM Pulse is great, and it gives all this functionality for to the project managers. And as well, same applies to executives. They can consume information as per using standard reports and dashboard developed by PMO. But as well, since it's a very simple approach to build the dashboard, executives as well can use the EPM Pulse to create their own dashboard because it's really drag and drop. The major concept of the EPM Pulse is we use widgets. One widget is specific chart. It can be bar chart, it can be S-curve, it can be pie chart, it can be histogram, it can be we support about 15 types of data that we can type visualizations that you can use for displaying the data. And it's really 4 simple steps to create a dashboard. First of all, you select a dashboard type. It's project or portfolio. On second step, you select for specific dashboard, you select the widgets that you would like to add to that dashboard. Then you do some cosmetic change, so you're aligning widgets on the dashboard, resizing those dashboard, and then you're ready. You save dashboard. You can share it, and it's already displaying all the information in real time from your EPM system. I mentioned about the widgets, and in most cases we support widgets by different types. So there are always financial widgets. There are always widgets about progress tracking, resources, risk and issues, and some statistical widgets that display information. And we support vertical bar, horizontal bar, line charts, multi-line charts, S-curve, table charts, pie charts, gauge, area charts, bubble chart, and scatter charts. And FluentPro is working on adding constantly the new types of the widgets that companies can use, and we'll have more types of the data visualization coming in the next version. So right now we'll get to the portfolio dashboards, and the portfolio dashboards is set of the projects that are grouped by some criteria, and the EPM Pulse is using this approach to display the information across multiple projects. So portfolio dashboard is a dashboard that displays information for more than one project. We have since companies might have quite big set of projects, it can be thousands. You can use the flexible filters to filter out the project that you would like to include into the dashboard. And those selection will be, it can be dynamic, and it will be stored in the dashboard. We also have the timeline slider. It's right here, that allows you to quickly change time periods for the dashboard. For example, you can see that I would like to use the custom charts, the custom period that will show the information just from January to April, or you can use just shows information for current month or for this week. There are more than 60 pre-built portfolio widgets that display the portfolio-related information, and as well we support, we have the number of features that display the workflow-related information. Project dashboards, they display information for a single project, And again, it's sharing all the standard controls. You have a filter where you can select the specific project by using the filter or manually pick the project. You have a timeline, time slider, where you can select specific time range that you would like to display. We have more than 75 widgets available for project dashboards, and as you can see, there are multiple types. It's indicators, it's pie charts, it's graph, it's line chart. We also have the number of analytical widgets that allow to dive into some data. Okay, on this step I will do a quick demo of the EPM Pulse in real environment. Give me a second. Okay, EPM Pulse is installed on the PWA server. We have some flexibility, but right now it will be available as just a link on the project server. The EPM Pulse has two tabs where you can see the portfolio dashboard and you can see just the project level dashboard. If I want to open the dashboard, I would simply click on the portfolio view dashboard, and it will load the dashboard automatically. We have some features, access to some tools and functionality on the screen. As well as we mentioned, we have a filter that will display the information just for a specific period of time. For example, I would like to see information for the current month, and that will display the weekly information. Project filter, you can have the different filters, or you can simply select multiple projects that will be used to for that specific dashboard. You can dynamically change the number of the projects that will be displayed, or you can say again, I would like to select all. And the system will automatically load all the data for the period. So it's all the time, it's always real-time data. All the data is coming from reporting database, and you always access latest information. I mentioned about the full screen mode. We have a button here that calls the full screen, and that will bring just a dashboard to your full screen, and you can present it really for the full page. Okay, let me show how to create dashboard. To create dashboard, it's also very simple. You click on the dashboard, and you have a button to create portfolio dashboard or project dashboard. Let's create portfolio dashboard. And we have right now the dashboard area. And on next step, what we'll do is we'll select, hey, let's build the dashboard for all of my projects. I will click on the next step, adding the widgets, and here we get to the window where you can select widgets that will display specific info, display all the widgets available for building the dashboard. For example, what I would like to see, I would like to show some portfolio metric. I would like to show project by state, and I would like to show project by workflow stage and project by workflow phase. So I will add several widgets here. I'll click here, and I click apply, and the widgets will be added to the page. I can add new widget at any time, so I can add them later, and I will add one more widget that calls the metric by category. So right now what I can do is I can reposition my dashboard and widgets on my dashboard, so it will display this information. So I can resize, I can drag and drop them, I can use all the functionality that is standardly available. Or for example, if I want to delete, I can delete specific widget. So as you can see, it's very easy to build information, and all the charts that you see, all the widgets, they already displays information from your system. So when you design your dashboard, you do it not just without the data that you guess how that will look. It already has the data, and you can creates a nice view, nice view. For indicators widgets that display some specific KPI, you can select different metrics. For example, you can say I would like to show the portfolio metric, or I would like to show the plant work here. You can control formatting. You can change the color. You say I would like it to be this color, and I would like the font to be 22. So you have all the a lot of settings for controlling how your widgets look. We mentioned about the analytical widget that's called the metric by category, and what they allow to do is they allow to see different metrics grouped by specific category. For example, what I can do is I would like to see the remaining cost by project department. It will show the cost, or I would like to show that by project name. That will display information. So using this widget, you can really take a look on your information from different angle. Cost, work, and grouped by any criteria and grouped by any custom field that you have. We have a several set of custom fields here, and we can say, okay, I would like to show that by specific indicators that I have on the dashboard. As next step, all that I have to do is I just have to save dashboard and save the game. And it will be saved, and it will be available in the view mode. As next step, what you can do is every dashboard can be exported. Every dashboard can be exported to specific to PDF or image. So we have the export feature, and you can export the dashboard for inclusion or just send it to the to users. For project dashboards, it's absolutely same approach, but instead of multiple projects, you just select one project. And here we do have just more widgets to display the information. We support multiple S-curves. We support the distribution of work over the time. We support the burn down chart. We support some nice statistical widgets where you can see perform some variation analysis for your data. For example, you can see what is your variation depending on the site task estimate, where you make most of the mistake, and what is your deviation from the from the optimal from the estimate versus what was the actual. So you can build the dashboard for different stage of your project and to display the different information. As well, what I would like to show as a next step is how project can be embedded, dashboard can be embedded into the PDPs. I have one of the project, and I can click on that project. And for that project, we'll have the one of the PDPs. We have the schedule, but also I have the execution dashboard. And on that execution dashboard, I have the built-in dashboard, project level dashboard that displays information. And this dashboard will automatically pick up the project information, and it will display the information that is specific just to that project. You will see the burn down chart. You will see the late task that are late. You will see the project milestones that are completed or not completed, and you will see some execution summary. You can EPM-PAL supports the workflow, and by that mean is that you can, since you have the you might have a workflow for your organization, and on every stage of your workflow you can display different dashboards for your project. If it's on the initiation, you can display some information. If it's on planning, you will be focused mostly on resource plan and resource availability and not on the schedule. When it's on tracking, when it's on the execution, you're interested to see your burn down chart and your actuals and late task. When you are on lessons learned, when your project is complete, you might be interested to see what will my variation for the task, and which task will lead, and to perform some analysis and make corrective action for your next project for estimation, to decide like, do we need to have the higher level estimates or more detailed schedules, so we are right on the track. Okay. EPM Pulse supports different. It also allows to manage widgets. It's a platform, and on the second part we'll cover the creation of the new widgets that will be very specific to your organization, or getting the data from one of your line of business application into the EPM Pulse, and how this can be done. As well, the administrators have the tool for managing dashboard, exporting dashboards, and moving them between the different environments. Okay, I will get back to presentation. And as I mentioned about the integration, EPM Pulse can be integrated with the workflow, so you can have different dashboard displayed on that will be related to your project state. Dashboards can be built into the PWA, and also they can be built into the SharePoint side. As I mentioned, it can be on the project sites, PDPs, and just some portals. One huge difference with any reporting tools that exist for project server is we support the project server security model. That means that if the project manager has access only to 5 projects, they will be able to pick only those 5 projects. So there is no other tool on the market that integrates project server security mode into the dashboard, so it limits the visibility of the data. And EPM Pulse allows to create some new widget using the widget types to make specific requirements from the business. It can be simple. It can be simple as you would like to show the revenue or some additional information that you're getting from your line of the business application, like from the SAP or from the Microsoft CRM to your project server, and then you would like to display that information on the widget. It's possible to do with EPM Pulse, and in the next part we will cover that information. Okay. I would like to introduce Martin. Martin will do the presentation about the adaQuest and offering.
Thank you, Anton. So I'm Martin Key. I've had extensive experience implementing EPM systems, and I've worked with multiple companies, Microsoft, Physio Controls, and Vulcan, in implementing EPM systems. And what adaQuest is providing self-reliance, creating scalable yet comprehensive paths to self-reliance, and creating customized project server and customized based solutions. And adaQuest knows that each business, each vertical market has unique business intelligence needs. And so adaQuest can provide analysis and design, building out of a set of standardized portfolio and project dashboards, and providing EPM Pulse training for PMs and executives, and the expertise to build out unique widgets for EPM Pulse for your particular business. So what you see right now is utilizing the EPM Pulse HTML widget. You can create a customized widget for your business. And here what we're showing is implementing a weather widget. You can put a weather widget on say your portfolio to show the current weather if that's something you desire. But what we're really showing here is that you have the flexibility to create any type of widget necessary using JavaScript and HTML. Something that you'd really use on your portfolio dashboard is a heat map. So again, a heat map doesn't come out of the box with APM Pulse. So you can take the HTML widget, implement some HTML code and JavaScript, and create a resource heat map showing where the constraints are in your resources on all of your projects. So if you're familiar with heat maps, obviously red shows that a particular resource is overutilized, yellow is somebody that's becoming constrained, and green is people that are okay as far as the amount of work that they've been given. So what I'd like to do now is to jump into and provide a demo of how to create a customized widget based on an existing widget in the system. Before I do that, I'm showing you here the EPM Pulse portfolio dashboard. And just real quickly here, I just wanted to show you how simple it is to create the resource heat map, or to put that onto the portfolio dashboard. And again, it's here's the resource heat map. If we click Edit, we can go and then open up that particular widget. And I can show you that on that particular widget, you can see that it's just a standard HTML editor, and we have HTML code and JavaScript in the HTML editor, and then when we click Apply, the resource heat map is then rendered. Okay. So I'm going to go now to the widget management control panel. And in the widget management control panel, these are all of the widgets that come with EPM Pulse. And what I'm looking for is to show you the percent complete gauge widget. I'm going to take that particular widget and modify it. So right here is the percent complete gauge widget. We can export this particular gauge widget, and it's just a standard gauge going from 0 to 100%. We click the export button, and then it's exported to wherever you want on your computer. In this case, I exported it already to my desktop. And so once it's exported with an extension of EPWX file. You can then open this up. This is an XML file. And you'll want to associate this with, say, a notepad for editing. And you can see here inside, like I mentioned, it's XML. It's the particular widget, this 100% complete gauge widget, is in the category of project summary. It's the dashboard type project, not a portfolio type. And then it has a particular formatting as far as it's pulling out this as project percent complete, which comes from the enterprise fields that come with project server. So that's already an existing field, and it's going from 0 to 100%. The other thing to point out is again, here is the title for the widget. It's a 100% complete gauge widget, and it's the gauge. So what we would do is we'd go through and we would say, let's say we were creating out a particular project, and we create a customized field. So we would then take and associate that enterprise custom field into this particular widget. So let's first go create an enterprise custom field. So here we are. If you're familiar with Project Server, we're in the Enterprise Custom Fields, where we're going to create a brand new field, and we're going to call this Performance Index. It's going to be of a project type, and then it's going to be numeric. So its entity is a project, and its type is going to be numeric. And that's it. We're going to save this. And you can see here now we have enterprise custom field called Performance Index. It's a project, and it's a numeric type. Okay. So now I'd like to go back to the dashboard, and I've already customized the particular XML code, and I'll just open that up, the XML code, and show you the changes that I've made to the XML code. So here, the first thing I want to show you is that I created the enterprise custom field, and here I had to change what was pre-existing, which was percent complete, to performance index. The second thing I changed is the scale. So the scale was 0 to 100%. Here I want the scale to be 0 to 10. Some of the other things that I changed in here was the title, for example. So instead of percent complete, it's now performance index, and that's right here. And then finally, what we need to do is create a unique UUID. So there was a particular ID that was in the XML file I showed you before. We cannot use that. That UUID is associated with the percent complete. So we have to create a unique UUID and insert that here in this line of code, so that this becomes a unique widget unto itself, even though we're just taking an existing one and customizing it for our purposes. It then becomes unique. Okay, so once we make the necessary changes in the XML code, we save it. We save it as a EPWX file, and then you can save it wherever you want. And now we're going to go back to APM Pulse. Back to widget management. And click right here where it says Install New Widget. And you do have to remember, or you can actually create the file name. It doesn't have to be with the UUID. You can see here that I'm clicking on the file here, and it has a bunch of numeric and alphanumeric digits for the file name. You can name it whatever you want. It just happens to be named with the UUID that's created for the new widget. You open that up, and it asks you, you're about to insert it into the widget management control panel. You say yes, and it should show up. Let's sort by type. And there it is, right here. Performance index gauge. Okay, so now let's go back into one of the projects that we were starting to build out. So let's say Bebop enhancements. I'm going to go edit it, and so you can see here I already have a % complete gauge. What I want to do is now add the new gauge that I just created. So we're going to go into the edit mode. I'm going to click over here, add new widget. And it's going to be underneath the project summary. There it is right here, performance index. Click on that, then click apply, and it shows up on our dashboard. And if I click save, and I know it's not all 100% perfect there, but you can click save, and now you can see our % complete and performance index. So there you go. We've created a brand new gauge based on the % complete gauge and created a unique one to our business enterprise custom field called performance index. So that's it on the demonstration, and I'd like to turn it back over to Anton.
As you can see, EPM Pulse is a platform. It brings you over 130 pre-built widgets, so it should cover 95% of your reporting needs. But also, it supports functionality where you can create specific widgets that will meet your business requirements and your environments. And it's not. It does require a lot of the development and compiling and tools. It's very simple, and we made it so it requires minimum of the technical knowledge. Summary for the EPM Pulse. EPM Pulse brings all the real-time information to the dashboards. It's getting the data in real time and displaying all the latest information. So every user that will get to the dashboard, it's latest information that exists in the system. EPM Pulse is it's all built with the JavaScript, and it's using some contemporary types of data visualization, how to display the information, and it's nice and clean, and you have all the tools to make the dashboard look nice and control the color schemas and all those little details. EPM Pulse support both PMO-centric and organization, and as well brings the self-service approach to organization to give the project managers tools, and also support the existing security model in Project Server, which is unique to any dashboard and report development tool. There is a faster return on investment, since you don't need IT resources, or you have a minimal involvement of IT resources to implement the EPM Pulse. In most cases, it's all required is just to install the EPM Pulse, which takes 10 minutes, and you're ready to go. EPM Pulse support. We have two types of licensing. We have a subscription-based license where you pay as you go, and there's a perpetual license model where you can buy a license and own the license. And as well, FluentPro has a number of the partner and adaQuest, one of our partners who specialize on the ZPM Pulse, and they can help implement and create the standard, the set of help you analyze your environment, your reports, and help you build the standard set of the dashboard and train users if that's required. We had several questions. From attendees. So first question is licensing models. The license model, as I mentioned, is we support the subscription where you pay per user per month, and it goes in the way that there are three types of the user: administrator, who has all the rights. There's a viewer that just can only see view the dashboard, and there is a creator or user who has the right to offer new dashboards or change existing one. And the price. There's a price for viewer. It's usually all the users in PWA, and there's a price for the authors. Second question, yeah, and in addition, like you have a perpetual license, but instead of paying monthly, you simply buying the license and just once and upfront. So that's a little different. We made it very flexible, so companies can. That depends on the preference of the company. Pay on monthly basis, or you can prepay for 6 months or 1 year, or you can just buy the license and own the license. Second question that we have is can be about the installation of PWA. Is it required to be installed on PWA server, or it can be installed on the PWA server? The answer is that it can be installed on the PWA server. What does it mean is it requires connection to the PWA, so it should be on the same project server farm, but there's no requirement that it should be installed just to the PWA site. It can be installed on sub-site or on the site in the same site collection, but we recommend that it should be, if possible, in the same site collection. But it can be separate sites, so it's very flexible here. Regarding the licensing in general, and relating to the PWA licenses. Microsoft has special requirements for the licensing. Microsoft requires that every user who consumes information from project server directly or through any other system, they need to have a license to PWA. Unfortunately, it's not our requirement. It's Microsoft, but you will need. If you display the dashboard that reads the data from project server and display it on any SharePoint site, that users that will access the dashboard, they need to have a micro license for PWA. Same principle applies to ZPM Pulse, and that's how the project server is licensed. That's the way how the project server is licensed. As long as you consume the data, it will be you need to have a license. Okay, we also have a couple more questions. Is there an addition for project server 2013? Answer is yes. We support two platforms. So there's a project server for 2010 and for ZPM Pulse for project server 2013. Does it work for Microsoft Project Online? The version for Microsoft Project Online right now is in progress, and we'll have an addition for Microsoft Project Online. There's a question like, does it take information from project sites as well? It takes partial information from the project site, so we get all the information about risks and issues, but we are not taking any document libraries or specific information, custom information from the custom list. So because it's not getting to the database, but you will be able to access all the and report and see We have a chart widgets for displaying the risk-related and issues-related information on the EPM Pulse dashboards. One more question about the timeline, because they've introduced into 2010. Timeline controls charts are coming in the next release that we'll have. We'll have about 5 new different types of charts, and as Martin mentioned, there's a right now we do not support the heat map, so there will be some tree maps, there will be heat maps, there will be timelines for both the project and portfolio, for project and portfolio. So there will be a number of new types of widget and new widgets that you will be able to use on the information to use on the dashboards. Okay. Do you have any questions? Okay. Giveaways. Okay, we have one more question. For 2010, does it work for processor 2010 or 13? And if I get the 2010 version, we'll be able to upgrade to 2013. Yes, as I mentioned, we have the version for 2010 and we have the version for 2013. And what we made is that this upgrade is free. If you buy the license for Project Sword 2010, the upgrade to 2013 is free for you. You cannot use both. You cannot use both and both version at the same time, but you can upgrade. You can replace your 2010 license with 2013 license, and we allow this change one time. So one time you can upgrade your license from 2010 to 2013, and it's free of charge. Okay, we have some giveaways. So first of all, yes, there will be. We'll send you a video. We'll send you a video for the product. So we'll send you a follow-up email with a link to the video. Giveaways. First of all, we would like to offer assisted installation of EPM Pulse. Installation is just couple clicks, but still, if you need any assistance, we'd be happy to do that. And as well, we're happy to provide face-to-face the direct training session for how to use EPM Pulse and what is the best practice using the EPM Pulse. Train and also answer all your questions and answer. What we offer as well is we offer review analysis of your existing reports that you have and dashboards. So we can provide you analysis and say like what can be done, what support out of the box, and where we need some, where there needs some help or additional configuration for the EPM Pulse. We offer 50% discount for subscription and perpetual licenses for attendees who purchase the EPM Pulse, so you can enjoy this 15% discount. As well, we'll provide you as a follow-up. We'll provide the link for you can download the dashboards and you can import them into the trial version of EPM Pulse, and you can always get the trial version from our website. It's there. It's available for free download. If you have any question, just let us know. And to access any of this benefit, please contact the FluentPro directly or adaQuest. You can see the email address on the screen. Please use your email address so we can identify you. Thank you. Thank you for your time on this webinar. And looking forward to get in touch with you. Have a great day.